Hello and thank you for joining me today. Well, this is the Monday, May the 2nd edition of our video devotionals. We appreciate you being with us today and hope your Monday's going well. We call this Marvelous Monday, and we can make Mondays exactly what I guess we want them to be and work hard at it sometimes, but it is Monday, so it's the beginning of the work week and school week. Otherwise, let's make it a great Monday. And of course, it's a brand new month and a brand new week, so we want to make it the best that we can. And May's one of those months where pretty exciting, a lot of growing going on. People's getting their gardens, I guess, fully put in, and the flowers are coming up really strong, and temperatures are definitely starting to moderate. Even my folks up in, my friends up in the UP of Michigan, May will start being a turning point for them, and they'll start seeing some warming temperatures. I do remember this, and when I pastored up in the UP of Michigan, I remember distinctly two first weeks of May, two pretty big snowstorms. One, I think, was at least a foot, because I remember I was driving the church bus, tried to back it up into like a little alleyway, and there was a bank of snow there, and I got the rear wheels, I guess, in it or over it. And then I couldn't get past it. Finally, I did, but I think I had to wake up a neighbor to have them move their car, afraid I was going to crash into it. And so that was exciting. And I think another May, they did the same thing. So that's the UP of Michigan. That's certainly not North Carolina, and not most places. But anyway, we have our friends up that way, and I guess they'll begin to start digging out here. All right, so we're going to be in 1 Chronicles chapter 11 today. We're going to read the first, I think, 3 verses, and we appreciate everybody who watches the videos and the comments that you make, and we'll just continue to try to be a blessing here as long as we can and as long as you want to watch them. All right, so it says in 1 Chronicles 11:1, Then all Israel gathered themselves to David unto Hebron, saying, Behold, we are thy bone and thy flesh. And moreover, in time past, when Saul was king, thou wast he that leddest out and broughtest in Israel. And the Lord thy God said unto thee, and here's where I'm going to bring my point out today, Thou shalt feed my people Israel, and thou shalt be ruler over my people Israel. Now that kind of lines itself up, and I'm going to turn over here to Psalm chapter 78, and I believe it's verse 70 and 71. Notice what it says here. He chose David also his servant, and took him from the sheepfolds, from following the ewes great with young. He brought him to feed Jacob his people, and Israel his inheritance. So he fed them according to the integrity of his heart, and guided them by the skillfulness of his hands. Here's just a simple point I want to make today. Obviously, in the case of David, David was a great leader to the people, and he loved the people, and he loved the Lord. And I think the love for the Lord is what led, of course, to the great love to the people. But it's interesting here that it speaks about that God chose him to feed the people. And I know in the very physical sense that was a part of that, but I also think in the spiritual sense. And here's why I want to make the application to us today. I think one of the things, and one of the primary things, and maybe one of the very single things that makes this country a great nation, from its founding even until now, with all the mistakes, all the misjudgments, of course, with any nation and any people, but the fact that we had the Word of God that was being fed to us from the pulpits and from the homes, from anywhere. People had a respect for the Word of God. You had people that would have the devotions in their home, and we called them, as I was growing up, family altars, where devotions would be done kind of as a family, as a unit. And then, of course, from the church's standpoint. So all that to say, one of the things that we have benefited from as a nation, as a people, as individuals, in my case, I know that for sure, is that we have been fed the Word of God wherever the person who is doing the feeding. So thank God if you've got someone in your family, you've got someone at your church in the form of a pastor, a Sunday school teacher, a youth pastor, whoever it might be, how blessed we are that God directs and leads people to feed His people with the Word of God. And then, of course, when you think about America, even with the days, the way things are, and some of the shortages and all that's going on, still we're way beyond much of the world when it comes to our food supply and any supplies in general. I know there's times when we don't have it literally all around us, we may complain a little bit because things get slack here or there, and I understand that because we get used to it, we get spoiled really. But thank God, as a whole, we have been a people that have been fed by God through the means that He has done that in the physical and in the spiritual. And certainly the spiritual is the most important, and I guess that kind of leads to the physical. So thank God that God chose David to feed his people. He led them, of course, as a warrior, but he also led them and fed them, not in just the physical sense, but I believe also in the spiritual. Thank God for anybody in your life that does that. And if you're a person that does that, you're definitely an individual that's bringing great benefit to the people in which you feed, whether it's one or whether it's masses. So thank God that God he directs all of that. So that's what we have for you today. We'll see you tomorrow on Thankful Tuesday. Hopefully you'll have a great Monday and to be safe. Hopefully everything, you're going to be healthy, and certainly God has been blessing us in great ways already, and we'll pray that he continues to do that. So have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow.